Okay, Thursday is bringing in the how we are growing intention. And we have this Five of Pentacles. And as we were making our way through the first half of our cards yesterday, I mentioned again how the number 5 has been coming up a lot, numerologically carrying the frequency of change. And that 5 tends to have with it the potential for chaos, confusion. There's definitely a lot of tumultuous energy in the in-between, between arriving, in order to arrive at the 6, the balance, the harmony, and the flow, which is something that I had shared about this card carrying the vibration of 6, and this idea of being in flow and bringing in more balance, healing, and harmony, which is also the message over here. So you see, we have all of this thread of energy coming through where, if we're looking at times of, and you can see the body language here. Also, this is really clever. I like how it's depicted here. You see like the bandages here, because typically on the traditional 5 of Pentacles, you see people who are outside in the elements. They're looking worse for wear. They've got, crutch and bandages, and they've got bare feet, and it's snowing, and there's this notion of them being on the outs. So there's a feeling of that, or an energy of, and because it is pentacles, it brings us into the material. It brings us into the aspects of also our health, our physical body, safety, security, and money, or all forms of abundance. And so this can highlight financial hardships, isolation, loss, physical pain. There's a sense of being on the outs. This is representing like a stained glass window in a warmly lit church where it appears like the door is closed to us. There's this feeling of being on the outside. And so how are we growing through that perception? Because oftentimes the message is to look up, to shift your perspective. And so this could be indicating a period of struggle or feeling excluded or left out, and having come through experiencing a challenging time in your material circumstances, or just feeling disconnected from others, not invited, not included, misunderstood, on the outs, but then also potentially physically unwell or struggling to feel your best in your body in any way. Like, those are all things that fall under this umbrella of what we often see here in the energy of this 5 of Pentacles. But there's an invitation here to seek support, to reach out for help when needed, and to find strength in the face of adversity. Carry the belief that this difficult period will pass. And that's the thing. I think that, when we're not there yet, and this card does feel very connected to the energy of the midnight indigo, light in the dark. Remember, I had brought this in, and we had this energy here of this midnight indigo, this dark color, this absence of light, and yet this is bringing in the energy to carry us through in a way where we actually emerge from a beautifully enlightened place. And so I feel like there's a lot of connectivity here between the two. So if you got a chance to hear the water pig's message about being in the flow, there was a notion about diving more deeply into ourself, about our worries, our anxieties, our hidden fears, and the idea that there was wisdom waiting to emerge from underneath all of that. And that once awareness had brought them to light, right, then there was this great balance. And it even goes on to say that the water pig is a travel star in Chinese astrology. Well, there's just this reason for lightness and hope and faith and great healing that is available in coming through the muck. It's so hard to have this card be a blocker challenge, like I said yesterday. So it's so beautiful what's actually overlighting the darker, heavier energies that we see here in the spread. And again, it's not to say that that is not heavy, that it is not dark, that it is not challenging, or to gloss over, what it is to move through that experience in real time. But there is this hopeful energy coming in that we're growing in the knowing that even as we're moving through these transitional periods where we're no longer where we once were, not yet where we wish to be, the energy of the 5 coming up with some chaotic, confusing energies, frenetic energy, you know, there's just a lot going on, or it's heavy and we're feeling left out or locked out, or something denied us, or however it may be hitting for you. But even as you move through that, in connecting more deeply with your higher self, bringing the spirit into the center. And if you remember, I mentioned that about this beautiful wood dragon, this totem for 2024 that was just rung in over the weekend, this wood dragon as that beautiful central point of your spirit, your higher self, right there at the center with you, supporting you, and right there to help in these times of uncertainty or struggle, or however it could be presenting itself. So, you know, I feel like there's this silver lining, this illumination that's coming in, that's creating a clearing, a cleansing, so that we then move into the final card for this week, where I see things getting down to business about planting some real seeds for the new that will be coming in. So let's take a look now at Friday.